So good morning. 9:45 here, October 24th, getting ready for the trading day here. So kind of going to go over kind of what we're seeing here pre-market. So market's having a rapid sell-off here, kind of starting here at 9:30 in the morning. We're kind of continuing this sell-off as we get the day started here. So kind of trending below all the key areas here, 200 moving average, VWAP, 9 below the 20 moving average here, all showing a lot of weakness here in the market. RSI super low here into the 26, severely oversold here. We take a look at the daily chart on this. We're also trending below the VWAP on the daily chart, which is, we haven't done that very often here. About the last 4 or 5 months, we've been trending above the VWAP on the daily chart, as well as trending below the 9 moving average. The 20 moving average has been holding as a little bit of a support area down here currently on the daily chart. The 20 moving average holding there at that 58.32 area. So kind of very interesting here with the big sell-off. We have a lot of news today, so we should see a lot of good volatility in the market. Got news coming up here at 9:45, like right now, as well as 10 o'clock here. Let me pull up the economic calendar. Couple different ones, right? So we've got the Fed speech going on right now at 9:45. S&P Global Composite PMI Flash, which those results just came out. With a forecast of 54, the actual came out 54.3, so a little bit higher. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI Flash forecast 47.6, came in at 47.8. S&P Global Services forecast 55, coming in at 55.3. So all pretty close there, nothing too crazy. 10 o'clock going to be interesting as well. We have new home sales, new home sales month over month. That typically doesn't affect the S&P 500 too much when that news comes out. But some decent little news here. At least we'll have some action to trade off of. So kind of what the thoughts on the day here, what the trading plan is going to be is, right now we're extremely oversold, getting a little pump here, kind of testing that non-moving average. Need to see the market recover a little bit. Again, going to be looking kind of what we saw yesterday. We want to see this kind of break that 20 moving average, kind of test that VWAP here on the S&P 500, see what it does off that area. And if we stay bearish, like below the VWAP, and we start to trend back down, that's where I'll take the shorts. Once the RSI is kind of more in a reasonable range, because there's a bit of risk versus reward ratio on that, be looking for shorts. Again, if we start to pump above the VWAP here, 9 gets above the 20, we can look for longs. But this area right here, again, big drop, consolidation, a little drop here, big recovery. Again, we're such oversold. RSI currently sits at 34. Really hard to look for shorts off this area. Definitely not looking for longs in a weak market like this, right? So trend is your friend. We'll be wanting to follow the trend. We just got to get a better setup for it. So as always, we'll kind of sit back, watch the market here, look for those trading opportunities. So decent little day yesterday, $413 after commissions. But kind of the big story on yesterday was there was a big opportunity kind of missed just because we didn't get a great entry point off that short yesterday. The trade kind of, the market kind of panned out how I thought it was going to pan out. And as soon as it started to set itself up, I was looking kind of for that good entry point, just quite didn't get the entry point that I was looking for from a risk versus reward. So a little bit of an opportunity cost missed there yesterday. But again, green is green. 413 yesterday. We'll see how today shakes out. Looking for a pretty decent day here. So again, we'll sit back, we'll be patient, right? No real opportunity here. I'm kind of surprised the market's not getting more volatility here at this point with all the news that, one, just dropped, and two, the Fed speech going on right now. But again, we'll sit back, we'll be patient, we'll look for our setups, execute those setups, and hopefully walk away with a nice little green day here today. So kind of starting the week out in a hole, again, taking a decent sized loss on Monday of this week of a little bit over 1,700, I think 1,742-ish to be exact, somewhere like that. That is like the biggest loss that I've had in October. Typically don't take losses that large, but again, manageable loss, nothing that we can't make back in 2 or 3 days, but kind of starting the week off in a little bit of a hole and be trying to work through this. Tuesday didn't trade, had a family issue that came up, and then Wednesday 413 in profit. So we're about $1,200 in the hole. So we've got today and Friday here try to pull out a green week here. October's been very nice as far as profitability wise, but again, this week kind of a little bit of a setback with the loss. But that is what is going to happen with trading if you're new to it. Do not expect you to be green every day. Nobody is, and if they're telling you you are, they are definitely lying to you. So RSI still low here in the 33s. Again, we are kind of holding that non-moving average pretty nicely to the short side, but again, at some point, we'll see the market pump. I mean, it's like clockwork. It always does when the RSI is that low. And then that's what's going to determine, whether we stay bearish here on the day. If we get that little pump above the 20 moving average, get a little kick up, maybe get that rejection off that VWAP, and then that pullback, we can look to the short side of this. But again, the market can always change, and we can flip to the long side if we get that set up as well. Right now, just a little bit of consolidation toward the short side here. Again, this morning we had that nice little sell-off. A lot of earnings. I think Tesla, again, I'm not an investor in Tesla, but I don't watch like individual earning reports unless it's Amazon, Palantir, a couple of the individual stocks that I'm invested in. And again, on the long-term side, I get that question a lot. I'm mostly VOO when it comes to the long side. About 80% of my portfolio is invested in just the S&P 500 for the long term. Again, every month I put a certain amount of dollars in there depending on kind of where I think the S&P 500's at. If the overall, if the S&P's been pumping for a while, I kind of limit how much cash I put in the S&P 500. And then when we get nice pullbacks in the S&P 500, that's where I take some of that extra cash, which I'm a little more cash heavy at this point because I think the market's a little bit overextended just from a longer term thing, but when we get those pullbacks, that's when I like to invest heavily in the S&P 500. But again, 80% of my portfolio's in that. That's set it and forget it, type deal. And then the individual stocks, there's only a handful that I think will outperform the S&P 500, and that's I'm heavy Amazon, but I've actually been looking at Amazon here as late. Amazon's actually underperformed the S&P 500 kind of over the past 3 years. Kind of really looking at their business model. I don't know if it's kind of fallen out of Wall Street kind of favor. I think it's still undervalued, just the numbers that AWS continues to pump out. And that's Amazon's biggest moneymaker, right? That's where, everybody thinks of it as more of the fulfillment side, but really it's the tech side of Amazon that, really kind of took that stock to the next level, kind of starting in that 2015 range, where Amazon, really started to pick up momentum when people kind of shifted their mindset of like, oh, this isn't just an e-com platform. This is a tech company with all the innovations AWS has come out with. But kind of speaking on the fulfillment side, they haven't ever turned a profit on the fulfillment side, but they are getting closer and closer to profitability on the fulfillment side, and I think that will also take Amazon a lot higher. But really kind of looking at their business model, kind of these last 3 years, seeing if there's better opportunities. And then Palantir, we started investing in that in 2021. That has paid great dividends. We were investing in that in the single digits on those. We kind of started off investing in it when it was in the kind of mid-teens to $20 range, and then it had that big drop and everybody freaking out, and I kept heavily investing in a Palantir. Anytime under $10, it was a no-brainer here. And I think last time I looked at Palantir, it's at the $43 range. Yeah, 43.34, kind of one of the other bigger holdings here. But again, that's only about 20% of my portfolio. I hold very small in crypto. Less than 5% of my overall portfolio is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very, very small percentage. So here's that little pump up here to the VWAP that we kind of talked about. RSI back in the 50s now, so decent little range here. Want to see what it does off this VWAP area. So nice little volatility. Again, testing that VWAP here. So what we're looking for here is if it fails off the VWAP and then has that 1 minute pullback, it'll probably take 2 to 3 candles, and we get back below the 9 here. That's the opportunity for the short. But if we start to pump here and we get above the VWAP, start to crack some of these key resistance areas, and the 9 gets above the 20 moving average, we have an opportunity to the long side, and the range I'd be looking for is up to that 200 moving average would be the target. So right now, testing that VWAP area. And that's the VWAP on the SPY, not the VWAP here on the ES. ES VWAP is sitting at 58.54. I do keep that on my charts, but it's not a heavily respected area. You know, the SPY VWAP is what's heavily respected. You can see coming right up to it. Starting to get that 1 minute pullback here, so we may get this setup that I'm looking for. RSI's in a good range. We're right at 50 right here. So if we get the break below the 9, it's got to close below the 9. Be looking for the short side here with a stop loss kind of above the 20 moving average. But again, coming down here, bounced off the 9 moving average. Again, that's why we're looking for the close below the 9. So 956 here in the market, no trades as of yet. Kind of waiting for this setup to develop, seeing if we can't grab a nice little trade here. Again, we're looking for the close here below the 9 moving average. So a little bit of weakness here in the market. Let's see, we get about 20 seconds left on this candle. Let's see if it closes. Again, because right now we may get stuck in a consolidation between the VWAP resistance and then that 9 moving average support. So I want to wait for confirmation before we jump into anything. Because the 9 is looking like it's going to cross the 20 here. This may get that run that we're looking for above the VWAP. Again, the trade to the long side wouldn't be until we close above the volume weighted average price, and then we've got a gap to fill to the 200 moving average. So again, we'll let the market dictate which way we take this. $9.58 here in the market, no trades as of yet. Waiting for the setup. We do have news coming in at 10. Again, it'll be minor news, shouldn't really affect the S&P 500 too much unless it's way outside the forecast. So we're getting a close here. Let's see if it falls below this area. Again, trying to hold strong here. Again, getting that little news rush here right at 10. A lot of volatility coming in here. Checking that news just to see what, waiting for that to get posted. 10 o'clock. Hasn't been posted just yet. There we go. Just came in. 4.1%. Wow, okay. So new home sales month over month came in at 4.1% with an expected value of negative 2.2%. So way off here. Okay, so that's why we're getting a little bit of volatility in the market. Still getting rejected by that VWAP though. There's people out there getting out and buying houses with the Fed rate drop. It'd have to be a tough time to be a realtor. You went from they were probably making money hand and hand over fist during kind of 2020, 2021 when you could get interest rates. Like I bought a house during 2020 just because they gave me a 2.65% interest rate. I said, yes, please, I will buy a couple more rentals and add it to the portfolio. Very interesting here. Again, we're still in that consolidation between that VWAP and 9 and 20 moving average here. A lot of volatility. No clear-cut setup just as of yet. Still leaning more toward the short side here. But being patient, looking for getting above that VWAP area. We're going to look for a pullback. Looks like we're going to be going to the long side here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Big pullback here. Hold on. Hold up. Just got filled. Big pullback on some volatility. So got filled very quick on some volatility. Got stop losses there underneath that candle. It's a little aggressive of a pullback here. We're going to be looking for this to first take profit here at the ESVWAP, second take profit at the 200 moving average as we called out. Just gotta hold this VWAP area. If not, I'll get out of this. Do have stop losses in there in case all of a sudden we see a crazy pullback here. Watching the level 2s, looking for this to pump to the upside here. Yeah, we're going to get that massive drop, it looks like. Let's see this pump back up, at least to that VWAP. I'm going to get out of this. Let's see, a lot of volatility here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Gonna get stopped out here, but at least we've got kind of a short setting up. Man, big drop out of nowhere. So we'll take a small loss here to start the day, but big lower shadow here as well.
Order filled.
I'm gonna go short here.
Order filled.
Gonna add to the short here.
Order filled.
Gonna add here as well. Looking for a big pullback here as long as we stay underneath that VWAP area. adjust the stop loss as well too. A little trick in here. We got to stay below that VWAP area here. We're looking for that nice pullback. RSI is right where I like it, right in that 50 range. I haven't got that quick pullback that I'm looking for just yet. I don't want this to spike above the VWAP, get caught up in a short squeeze here. So we're going to keep this stop tight. We got 3 contracts to the downside here, so if we get a good pullback, we can make some nice little money here. A little tricky into this area here. Again, we're looking for the big pullback off this VWAP rejection. So testing the VWAP here. Looking for this big pullback to come in. Market being real tricky today. Not being an easy market to trade. So there we go. Nice little pullback here. Let's see this continue down. It's a nice strong VWAP rejection. Should get a big pullback coming in here. Can make some nice money here. I'm going to be patient with this move and really look for this to start to drop. So come on, give me the nice pullback into here. Being patient, looking for this big pullback, looking for the next level down here. If we can break through that 579 area, we should get a nice little pullback into here. Like I said, I like that VWAP rejection that we got. Here's the test of the 9 and the 20. Almost want to add into it, but I like the position where I'm at. Let's see. see. Let's get down here. Let's break this 579 and get that nice pullback in
Order
here. There we go.
filled.
Starting to get filled here. Here's the pullback I'm looking for. I'm going to lock it
Order
up. I'm
filled.
just going to lock it all up there. Just because we took a... It's probably going to continue to drop, but just because we took a decent... we were down $300 to start the day here. This puts us up here, 237.50. So we're back in the green here. Looking for the next opportunity for the short. Might have been a good time to take it because we're starting to get a lower shadow there. Let's see if we get another VWAP rejection. Again, back in the green. Always good here. 10-16 here in the market. Plenty of time, plenty of opportunity.
Order filled.
Let's take a short here. So looking for this to continue to fall here. Got one contract short here. Looking for that quick little spike up to that VWAP again. If we get it, I can add to the short. Right now, got one contract in here again. One loser on the day, one winner here. Again, our winner was bigger than our loser, so we're up 224 after commissions, 237.50 before commissions. Sold this one contract short. Looking for the shorters to come in here and really drag this down. You know, either take profit around that 58.45 area, or if we get lucky in a little break below that, I've got this limit order set at 58.43.75. But looking like we're going to continue to downtrend. RSI is only at 44, so we've got plenty of room for this to continue to fall. Again, we're trending below the VWAP on the daily, nods below the 20 on the 1 minute, trending below the VWAP and the 200 moving average, so nothing saying that this is going to shoot back up anytime soon. So being patient with this one contract, looking for the market to continue to fall here. Right now, kind of consolidating. Still trying to hold that 579 area on the SPY. So what I wouldn't mind is a nice little upper shadow. We get filled into here
Order filled.
and then see it drop.
Order filled.
We're going to get this VWAP test here.
Order filled.
Just going to add here. So now we need to see this fall. Ooh, don't spike above that VWAP too much. All right, 4 contracts, looking for the pullback here off this volume weighted average price. Got stop losses in case this
Order
pumps on
filled.
us. Which we got hit with 1 stop loss.
Order filled.
Man, is this really going to pump here? Got a little upper shadow, which hit our stop losses, but now we're back below the VWAP here. I'll still like this, as long as we hold below that VWAP. go. I think this is the short that's coming in off that VWAP fill. So right idea, we got a little liquidity grab where our stop losses was at, but this is the right idea here. Let's see this continue to fall. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on down here. Ooh, we get a break below that 579 like we're getting now. This should have a nice little pump back down here. So up about 450 on these two contracts. There's 500. Let's see if we can't grab 600-700 off this trade. Try not to be too greedy as well. We've got a nice little pullback here. Fortunately, man, we got liquidity grab there. If we were still holding those four, whew, that's going to happen though every now and again. But thought process was right here as far as what I thought it might do. Retest that VWAP, get a fill. Unfortunately, we got that little upper shadow there. Little liquidity grab that chopped us out of that full size position. So let's see, there we go. Come on down, there's 550. Let's see, we need one more little break here to the downside. We'll be sitting decent here. I'm just gonna cover this here because I can re-enter this short. Again, we took a little bit of a loss up there on those last two, but recovered it well. We're actually sitting 378 here in profits now. That's after commissions, 400 before commission. But the real number is 378 because that's what you see in your bank account. So right idea, right? Scaling in right there to that VWAP. I thought this may pump up to it, retest it again. Fortunately, we got liquidity grab, or we had a little bit of an upper shadow. You can see it here off that VWAP, but again, you got to be safe in your trading and have those stop losses in place. So we got hit with two stop losses, but still held those two contracts that gave us that nice little profit down here. So net positive on the trade. Ooh, if we didn't get that little liquidity grab there, still held those two contracts, that would have been nice. But again, it's all risk versus reward in trading. It's going to happen. You're going to get liquidity grabbed every now and again. So going to sit back, going to be patient, and look for the next opportunity here. So again, we're up 378 here, 1030 in the market. Not a bad day to kind of get it started. Let's see, might get another VWAP rejection here. Watching this here, see if it's going to hold above the VWAP. If so, we've got a gap to fill to that 200 moving average. Could look to go long here. It's got to hold this area though. Got about 30 seconds left on this candle. Getting sitting 378 here on the day. Looks like you're gonna run, gonna run right into this 200. Looking for the 1 minute pullback here. Man, what a wild, choppy day here in the market. So you can see kind of how wild it's been. Big run-ups, big drops, consolidation, drop, big run-up, big drop, big run-up here. Kind of leads me to believe we may see another big drop. If so, I'll be ready to pull the trigger. But want to see some confirmation because it's been so wild today. A little bit choppy, a little bit hard to trade. We don't we don't have a clear cut like, hey, we're on a nice uptrend or hey, we're on a nice downtrend. It's just been a little back and forth. So we gotta kind of realize what kind of market conditions we're in right now and be prepared for them. Really unfortunate. I mean, this trade kind of happened how I thought it may turn out, which it did. And we put ourselves in a good position. 4 contracts on the short side right off that VWAP rejection. Just unfortunately, that little upper shadow there where I had those stops at in case this, continued to run. Stopped us out on those 2 contracts. Luckily, we had those other two to cover down here and be a net positive, but that could have been a really, really, really nice trade. That could have been 1,500 plus there. So kind of being patient after this big move. Want to see if we consolidate. If we test that VWAP area and hold here, I'll look to go long for another run back up to the 200 moving average here. Market opened at 579.98. That would be the next target above that 200. But again, with the wild pops and drops, I'm a little hesitant to try to jump in here right now. So I don't want to go long and then see another big drop come in. So again, being patient, big run up here, consolidation underneath that 200 moving average and that VWAP area. Again, with the wild moves that we've seen, want to kind of play off that volatility if we get it again. So again, we're up 378 after commissions here. Been a crazy back and forth day. Again, we got liquidity grabbed on that big short. If we, man, you hate to see it because that would have been a nice, beautiful trade. I mean, again, we salvaged the trade. We could have made a lot more money than what we did. But green is good. Like I said, we're going to look to add on the day here if we can get another play in. It's about 1040 here in the market. See if we can't get a little bit more volatility to play off of here. There's a little pullback coming in here. I want to see if it wants to hold that VWAP area, which kind of aligns right at that 20 moving average. Like I said, if we get a drop here and even a close below the 20 and then it gets back above, like that nice little lower shadow there, right to that VWAP area, potentially look to go long here with tight stop losses at this point, just because of how wild this has been. Ooh, look at that lower shadow come in there. Right there, that support area. Big drop here. Again, that's why I like gotta be real patient in this type of market, just of how crazy these moves have been. So I'm real hesitant in this type of environment, choppy market, to really take it to the long side. Almost rather see this drop below the VWAP, get rejected, and take it short than long here. Because the drops to the short side have been nice today. Other than this big run up here, but now starting to give it back. May look to scalp these moves at this point. Nice little VWAP pop there. So still going to sit back and be patient. Again, are we going to hold this VWAP area? We keep testing it. VWAP's kind of sitting right where that 20 moving average is, that 58, 52 area. Starting to get a little crack there. Let's see if it holds. $10.44 here in the market. Again, we're up 378 after commissions. Looking for the next trade opportunity, but right now just kind of consolidating after that big run up here. Again, the market, if you're profitable in a day like this has not been an easy trading day, right? It's very choppy. You know, the easiest trading days is when we have kind of a clear trend, whether that's to the upside or downside, it don't matter. Just don't have that today. Here's the big pullback. See, that's why I was so hesitant to go long on this. Just because this is the type of drops that we're getting after these big run-ups. It's just like the market, just buyers can't keep it propped here. Well, let's see. Let's get this next little setup in here. So we got the big drop. We'll look for a 1 minute green candle to come in here and retest, and if we fail, we'll short. Again, not an easy trading day. I mean, this this is a clear cut, like, kind of play where you would want to go long because it's like holding the VWAP there. 9's above the 20. We're above the VWAP. It's like, oh, this is an area to go long. And then you get this type of move. Then where we took profit off this drop, I mean, look how rapidly that went against us. I mean, luckily we took profits where we did. But then, you know, this is looking like a nice little setup to where I almost thought about re-entering this to the short side after the retest. And all of a sudden it just takes on off. So, like, again, very, very tough day to trade. Like, this is where a lot of newbie traders get caught up. When you don't really have a trend and you're just kind of bouncing around all over the place, you know, what in my early trading career, this would be like a crazy losing day where I'd probably take 10 trades, shit ton of losses, commissions given back, because the market just, you know, you're not in a clear trend. You just got to realize what market conditions you're in and play accordingly. It's like every day you come to the markets, it's a Rubik's Cube. And no fucking day is the same, and you got to figure out how to solve the puzzle. So again, nice little short setup here. Just gonna wait for this to retest again. Be safe, just because of what we've seen here in the market today. It's like you can't trust any moves, whether it's to the long side or to the downside. I think the only losing trade we had today was I took it to the long side and got a big drop. But again, it's why stop losses are so important. You come into a market like this, you don't have stop losses, you can get wiped out quickly. Let's see if we get the setup here again. I want to see this retest, kind of this 9 and 20 in this VWAP area. See if we get an upper shadow, see if the sellers are still in, and if so, we'll ride it with them. Again, target is going to be where I've taken a couple of profits, which is going to be low a day here. And the entry is going to be if we come up here and retest this 9 and 20 and fell off of it. Man, tough day in the market. Again, green is good. I'm not complaining about that, but it is, again, tough sledding out here. Not an easy day to trade whatsoever. So big drop, consolidation again. Nothing new. We've seen this. Can I draw on this? So if you don't know what this pattern's called, I call it the middle finger. Now this is made up, but where we took that one trade, there's the pinky index finger, there's the middle finger right to you, and then it comes right back down. It's like a hard trade here, even though we made money off of it. Or where it like looks like it's gonna spike and go crazy, and it comes right back down to where it was. I call that the middle finger trade. It's the market flicking you off. Like I said, tough trading day today. We are green. Again, one loser, couple winners. And market continuing to sell off here after that little consolidation. Again, I want to wait for a retest if I do take a short. 1051 here in the market. This may be another small green day here. One of those days where it's hard to trust any type of move here in the market just because it's been so chaotic all over the place, not really following any trends. All of a sudden you think the market's going to give it back, and then it goes on a quick spike, then drops right back down, then looks like it's going to continue on down, has a rip all the way back up, and then it rips all the way back down. Again, one of those days you can't really, like I said, follow a certain trend in the market. One of those days where if you're more of a pure scalper, where this scalpers like tend to take big size positions off areas of support and resistance, this is their type of day. This is where those scalpers make a lot of money. And I scalp every now and again, but that's not like my bread and butter. I'm looking for overall trend moves. And again, you'll see me scalp every now and again, but that is definitely not, like I said, my bread and butter. But a day like this is a perfect scalping opportunity for the traders out there that's their kind of go-to strategy in the markets. Now, when I traded penny stocks, I was good at the scalping game. That was my go-to, was scalping penny stock moves. Where with those, I had hotkeys set up on my keyboard where I could, if I hit Control 1, I immediately bought 1,000 shares. And then when I would scale out, I would hold Control. Control V was sell quarter my position, Control B was half my position, and then Control N was full size position. Like I said, when I traded penny stocks exclusively, that was my go-to, was the scalping side of the house. So still haven't lost that skill, but I like to take the bigger moves in the ES frame than take a bunch of scalping type plays. But 10:54 here. We'll see if we get another opportunity. If not, again, we'll have another small little green day. And hopefully Friday we can come away a little bit bigger of a green day. Again, Monday took a decent sized loss, $1,700. Tuesday I didn't trade, had a family thing, and then yesterday 413, I believe. Today maybe 378. So again, the goal is to at least come away profitable here this week. It's been a while since I've had a losing week in the market, but this may be, well, I don't want to say that. We'll make it back tomorrow. So volume kind of died off here toward this 1055. Again, we'll see if we don't get a crazy volatility move we can play off of real quick. If not, we'll have a small green day, which is fine. What a wild day in the markets. Again, congrats if you're green today. It's a very, very hard day to trade when you're not following a pattern and you're bouncing all over the place. When you're bouncing all over the place too, these moves are very quick. It's not like they're slow grinds to the upside or slow grinds to the downside. They're violent moves to the upside, violent moves to the downside, and then they're also going against the overall trend when they do reverse. So again, very, very tough trading day. Again, early in my career, this is a day that would drive me crazy because at one, I would overtrade, get too emotional. I'd be burning commissions left and right, taking unnecessary trades all over the place. So again, if you're green on the day, like I said, this is not an easy day to trade. So 1057, looking for one opportunity here. Again, I'd like to see this come up and test that 20 moving average, and if it falls off the 20 underneath the 9, I'll go short. Or if it even retest that VWAP and then get back underneath the 20, I'll go short. But got to get this set up in here just because of the violent moves that we've had today. Again, I understand the market conditions that we're in, and they are not easy. Potential scalp here if we close below the 9. Because there's that 20 test. Stop loss would be above the 9 moving average if we do scalp this.
Order filled.
We're going to scalp this here. Take this to the short side. Take stop loss on this. Again, we're just looking to make like a quick $100. Call it a day on a quick little scalp off a 9 or 20 moving average rejection here.
Order filled.
And we'll lock that up. Quick $100 there. Again, kind of what I wanted to see, that little upper shadow retest of the 20, close below the 9, and all we did was we're just scalping that, right? We knew what the trade was. Just a quick little scalp there. As soon as it's all $100 on the P&L, we close it out. $10.59 here puts us up 474 on the day. 500 before commissions, 474 after. Again, quick, right on the dot, $100. Again, quick little scalp. Risk versus reward was there. We're risking $50 to make 100. $10.59 here, so that is going to be it for me. I'm going to close the trading day out here. I'm not going to push the luck. There's really, again, my strategy works 9:45 to 11. You'll notice more you're in the market from like 11 to 12, it's real slow. You talk about real slow. Lunch hours are the slowest. Like 12 to 2 o'clock's real slow. You can trade the afternoons. We do have more activity starting after 2 p.m. Eastern time, like 2 to 4. It's going to be slower than what you're going to see in the morning hours, from 9:45 to 11, at 2 to 4. There is a little bit more activity. It's not as much as you see in the morning, but there is opportunities in the afternoon. I personally don't trade 2 to 4, but you can definitely, if you're newer to the markets, you can sit down and kind of watch that 2 to 4 time frame and kind of look at the moves that happen between there. But for me, trading's not something where I personally want to spend all day looking at charts, looking for moves like that. I'd rather, get an hour and 15 minutes where I really concentrate on the day, make the money, and then, spend the rest of the time in the afternoon doing whatever I want to do, whether that's, for me, kind of looking for real estate deals, some other businesses that I have out there, or just go enjoy the day, just, especially in the summertime, most of my summers and afternoons are spent on the boat, but another opportunity there, another little 20 moving average rejection there. But that's going to be it for me. Again, we're going to close the day out here, 474 after commissions. Wild trading day here all over the place. We could have had a really nice day. It's kind of painful when that happens. Like, you're looking for a particular move, and that move happens beautifully. Again, we were short 2 contracts into here, knowing that I was going to add for another VWAP rejection touch there, and we got that move beautifully. Unfortunately, this little upper shadow here, again, you also have to be careful too, because this could also went against us, right? And that's where those stop losses come into play, where, it does come up and reject off the VWAP, but then all of a sudden you get this crazy move, above the VWAP there, which we had liquidity grab there, and then it fell flat on its face, which was kind of what I was looking for, right? Kind of scaling into the short, looking for the VWAP rejection, then looking for this to fall in its place. So Fortunately, we got stopped out there on 2 contracts. We held most of this down and almost scaled out of that perfectly with those last 2 remaining contracts there. To come out net positive. I think we were up like 200 and something, like 270, 280 going into that trade, and then we were up like 3 something. So we made $100 off that play. But if we didn't get liquidity grab there, we're holding those 4 contracts on the short side, and then we get that big drop. That's a 1,000+ trade all day long. But again, kind of liquidity grab there, but kind of just the day that we've had overall. It's just you go back and look at the charts, right, and you've got the 9 below the 20 below the VWAP. We're a little bit spread out between the 9 and the 20. That's why we're not taking those type of trades. Get that little pump there. Get the 9 to cross over. You get that big run up where it's like, oh, the market's going to really move. We're above the VWAP here. It's going to go hit its next profit target, the 200 moving average, and you get this violent, pullback, and it's like, okay, now we're consolidating here. Oh, the 9 crossed underneath the 20. We're going to get, a nice, kind of trend to the downside. Then all of a sudden you get that rip up, rip back down, big rip all the way back up, consolidation, big rip on the way down. It's just one of these days where it's very hard to trade the market just because you're all over the place. Again, if you're a scalper, that's your go-to trading style, they probably made a killing today because a lot of good scalping opportunities. Not my go-to strategy. Again, I'll scalp every now and again, but I'm more of looking for riding the trends, whether that's long side, short side, more of scaling into certain trends and kind of riding those out, than just a pure, scalper. I'm not looking for scalps as a go-to, but the market's going to give it to us. I'll take them every now and again. But yeah, scalper type of day, just very hard. Kind of market couldn't find a direction today. It just chopped around, honestly, sideways. I mean, basically all it did today, just sideways chop with big violent moves to the upside and then big reversals. So very hard trading day today. If you're green, congratulations. Like I said, very hard day of trading. Been there, done that as an early trader. Seen days like this would totally wreck my account early in the day. When I was a newer trader, because you're looking for trends and they're not there, and then you're just getting stopped out, and it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's like you just can't win. And all you're doing is losing, and then on top of that, you're burning commissions on top of it, because you're all over the place. So congrats if you're green. Again, we're going to end the day here, 474 after commissions. Just not the best trading day as far as opportunities out there in the market to really capitalize on. But again, typically 80% of my profits come from 20% of my trades, and today we just don't have the opportunities out there. So that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys are green. Have a good one. We will be back at it tomorrow. We need a strong day on Friday to kind of close out the trading week here. So hopefully we get better market conditions and we can just either ride the market to the upside, downside. Hopefully it finds a direction and we're just not, chopping around here. So that's going to be it for me. You guys have a good one. Peace.